Hi guys, today I'll be sharing how to make Rocky Road Brownies. For the ingredients we need, half a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 50 grams of Dutch processed cocoa powder, 2 eggs, 60 grams of semi-sweet baking chocolate, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 170 grams or 3/4 cup of butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of plain flour, and half a cup of unsalted peanuts. To begin, we're going to put the peanuts into a Ziploc bag, and then using a mallet or a rolling pin, just smash the peanuts. You don't have to fully smash this. We just want to break it up a little bit, just like this. Now set this aside. Combine the flour, the salt, the baking soda, and the Dutch processed cocoa powder. Give it a mix, and then we will set this aside. We will sift this later. We're going to melt the butter and the chocolate in a double boiler. Just make sure that the water is not touching the bowl of the butter and chocolate so it doesn't burn the chocolate. So once the butter and the chocolate is fully melted, we can take it out of the heat. To this, we're going to add the brown sugar. Give it a good mix until everything is well combined. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Then continue mixing. Add eggs one at a time, mixing in each addition, but make sure to check the temperature of the butter just to make sure that it's not hot so it doesn't curdle the egg. Now we're going to sift in the dry ingredients. By the way, your oven should be preheated by now at 180 degrees Celsius. So sift in the dry ingredients and then add the crushed peanuts as well. And then just fold the ingredients until it is just combined. Do not overmix this. Then transfer the mixture into a prepared pan lined with parchment paper. I'm using a rectangular pan. I will list the dimension of this pan in the description box below, but you can use any pan that you like. You can use 9 by 13 as well. So the pan depends on how thick you want the brownies to be. Spread the butter evenly. And then we're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 30 to 35 minutes or until when you insert a skewer in the middle and the skewer comes out clean. For the toppings, we need half a cup of peanuts. This is 100 grams of glazed cherries that I cut in half. This is 150 grams of mini marshmallow, 150 grams of semi-sweet baking chocolate. So this is what the brownie looks like after baking. You can add the chocolate here directly while the brownie is still hot, so the chocolate will melt. But for me, I don't like this process. I'd like to melt the chocolate in the microwave so I have better control. So I've melted 150 grams of semi-sweet baking chocolate in the microwave using 15 seconds interval. I poured the chocolate in on top of the brownies, spreading it evenly. Then I will top this with marshmallow. You don't need to use all the marshmallows. See how much you need. Make sure to leave space for the other ingredients. So now I'm adding the peanuts. So I added all half a cup of peanuts. And then I'm adding the glazed cherries randomly. At this point, if you have any exposed side of the brownies, you can fill that up with the leftover marshmallow. And this is what the look that I'm going for. Now I'm going to melt 50 grams of semi-sweet baking chocolate again. And then I place this in a piping bag. Then drizzle the top of the Rocky Road brownies with the melted chocolate. Cool down completely. It's best for you to refrigerate it so that the chocolate will fully set, but I'm very impatient, so I'm cutting this now while it's still warm. So it's harder to cut this when the brownies is still warm, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm very impatient. So cut the brownies into the desired size that you like. This is best served chilled. It is really fudgy when it's cold, so if you're not ready to serve them, you can place this in the fridge. And this is what the brownie looks like after cutting. This is really good, especially when it's slightly cold. I hope you give this a try. It's so easy to make, and I can guarantee that you're going to love this. And just to show you what it looks like inside, again, this is still slightly warm, so it's best to refrigerate it for at least an hour before eating. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!